Warning. The Alphabet C is for ages 15 and up. However, under, please not watch this video. And that's really about it. Request my audience, enjoy the video. Hey guys, back in another video today. It's another odd series that I made like around 2019 and just forgot about until, now. So there. So we'll be comparing the original NECA Friday 13th Part 3 3D Jason Voorhees action figure, right here, and take a look at the re-release version of them. Now, let me give you a thinking of a little reminder to actually know for fact what is re-release, what is the original, which one is the bootleg. Originals look like this, re-release looks like this, and that's pretty much about it. That being said, though, yeah. Now let's get into the boxes. I actually don't think the boxes are actually different from one another. I think it's just that the little paint. This one looks a little bit on the yellow side, and this one does not. This camera can focus, for Christ's sake. There we go. That one's blue, and that one looks like yellow. So, I don't know. And this one really has a tendency of falling down a lot. So, there. Side looks exactly the same. I don't know which one's the difference between the two. On the back here, looks near identical, except I think this one's a little bit on the lighter side of things. You can also tell for a fact on how they were able to, bruised up since then. And I could take a look on the inside. No, I'm actually going to do that right now. Moving stuff around here. This one's a little bit on the hard side of things, since I really only use it for display purposes. I use the original. I'm actually going to know a little bit differences. I guess the little spot on the lake is a little bit lighter, and over here it's a little dark. The camera can actually pick that very well in the pictures. Identical, I think. I think that one's a little bit on the lighter side of things. This one's darker. Also, what's weird is that the whole entire face they use for the hockey mask. Yeah, that ain't accurate. But it's nice that they have a little remnants of what it was originally. And also t-shirt color. So as that, move those boxes out of the way. Onto the figures. Now before I get actually into the figures, gotta give you a little bit of history of NECA and the Ultimates a little bit. Let me just put the re-release aside. Let me remove the axe that I have on him. AK ball now. There we go. Back on actually the figures that used to come. NECA at the time used to make figures that were about the same ones that they used to be. Posable at the head, the joints, and no position at the, no posing at the legs. That was stock variants, right? We were on to the 2000s when NECA was able to experiment a few of their figures, and actually kind of re-release some of their figures along with it. Which was one of these figures. They released two versions of them before those boxes over there. It was simply called Friday Part 3D, that's what it's called, but it had two variants. One was stock, which was basically no blood on him, and one was bloody. The only difference between is that some of the weapons that they did have on him was actually, like this. One was normal and one was bloody, so give you a reminder, and also came with different heads. It was kind of picky of whether or not if you wanted to display a figure from the scenes of the film, or just have original poses like sometimes I do. So it was kind of iffy if you wanted to get yourself a specific one for them. But surprisingly enough, the NECA's Ultimate lines did actually well, so who'd thunk that they released Ultimate figures. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if this is actually the very first Ultimate figure that they released for Jason. It says 2012 on the shoe over here. You could barely even see that. Let me actually get the zoom in here. Let me actually zoom in just a tiny bit so you can see. You see some text? It does say 2012 on there, so my guess was that it was actually released in 2012. Turns out it wasn't. I think those original ones came out. I think this figure came around 2 years after those ones came out. And what it did was basically hybrid between all of them. Have the body from both original and bloody, but had the blood stains from the bloody version. Which really kind of ruin the figure. I'm not say ruin it, because if you wanted to use this head, you're gonna have to have a weird of a blood stain on the neck. And if you want to use this head, then that's that. So there's a whole entire history guide on to why this figure is exactly the way it is. If you want to get it like that. I know, stinking history lessons are here, so yeah, it's basically that. And actually let's change these figures up for a bit so I can show you the real differences between them, and we can already tell. So both figures come pre-stocked with the head, the hockey mask, and two hands that you could change. However, they're pretty hard if you want to get those things back on. And let me just scooch this thing just a tiny bit again, and actually get onto these figures. What's the big difference you've seen from the original and from the re-release? Mask? Yeah, I guess so. Let me just take these off. We'll get to those heads pretty soon. So here's the comparison between the original and the re-release. I think in my honest opinion, I think the original works better. Let me put the zoom in though. Because if you look on reference photos, in fact they even have a photo on here so you can really see. Yeah. It has dead marks. And this one doesn't. I would assume this is like one that you probably get at the second store when it was brand new with a few scuffs. And I really don't like on how this paint looks. It just looks like weird. I do like this paint a tiny bit more. And it kind of looks like pot 6. And for Christ's sakes, my dog is barking now. I was thinking fear or something. I don't know. So, might as well block a window. So, there's that. And so, one of the things I think people had complaints were the stinking, I guess, lace? Strap? Yes, straps. There we go. These straps tend to break a little bit. It was so much to the point where I actually wanted to change out the mask and all of a sudden it broke. You can actually see the remnants of it breaking. Had to glue it back on with a Gorilla glue, which tends not to work sometimes. And was able to actually get it back on him, but actually make it look like, it kind of does look like a little bit of some of the later films where it has the eyes, but it just sunken really back down like this. Let me give you one example. So, here's what it was originally. Yeah, as you can see. Let me get the zoom in again. It's almost talking. You can see eyes. And here was it sunken. As you can see, that was that. Let me just put this window out of its misery. There we go. Back to this. And yeah, that's basically it. And also, I think I might as well talk about the whole entire, faces. And also, I don't know why, but this thing looks like it's about to break, so there's that. The head sculpts on both of these two look pretty good. How I do say one of them looks a little off, you could tell. This one is way too bright. This looks like a bootleg thing. And this one looks really good. Even so, actually, the skin tone on it looks a little off, but oh well. It works with it. And this one is way too dark. You can just see how it looks a little weird. And yeah, they actually did add black on here, and here not. So there. Also, gotta remember, I was thinking the paint, the blood stains on here isn't from the factory. It was just done by me. So that's why you can see this instead of this. Right here. And more of this instead of this. Also, I didn't really add blood on him. I really don't feel like he should have any on him. So, however, one thing I actually do like is that they do add a little glimmer, aka shine to his eyes, which actually is pretty accurate. They do have it on here, but it's very hard to see though. So, for an example, for the neck though, if you want accurate colors to how it looks, if you have an original, swap it on here. It's very good though, because that's what I had him on display for. And yeah, that's really it though. I could also compare about the whole entire, blood ones. In fact, let me do that right now. Move you to the side and on head sculpts. How are they different from one another? Let's see. So one of the things I do notice from actually the original to here, other than, markings, is that the chevron on top. They still have the exact same, I think same position. I think, and especially that this one actually has an outline onto what was originally. I just got spit on the camera. You can actually see a little bit of an outline. I do like that touch though. Kind of does look like sinking on the 5 mask. You know, the blue chevrons. We had the sinking head chevron, but it's gone. Do like that though. Blow looks good though. I kind of would say that one looks a little bit better. So yeah, and also this whole entire sticking out thing is not how it's supposed to be. It was because I was thinking stuck it next there a little bit more instead of just gluing it in altogether. So I had to suffocate just trying to do this, and realization, hopes and dreams of death. Actually taking off the masks here. This one has pretty hard. And comparing it between both of them. And also for those who are saying, like, are these thinking officials? Yeah, they're official. That one I got from like a Target, and that one I have no idea where it got from. It looked like it was from Walmart, because those ones are actually pretty much there every single time, so there's that. And yeah, it's really painful doing this. There we go. Comparing the head, the Argon mask back, exactly the same. You can see on how much the paint just looks weird on that one. Yeesh. And the same problem goes with the re-release. It's too bright of a sinking head. I don't know, maybe that's how it was in the film. I don't remember seeing it, so question me wrong though, but still. And yeah. And I think they're exactly the same bloodstains too. They really don't look different from one another. I have to do and zoom in really big though. There. They actually don't really look that different, other than, the paint on the head. The skin tone, and maybe the glimmer in the eye. Other than that, it looks still pretty awful. Well, face-wise, but, that's how he looks in the film. So there's that. And we'll be moving on to accessories in a pretty good minute, but we have to compare, the skin tone issue. You can see on how it looks weird. And yeah. Also, paint issues. My guy, look at this. That does not look right. So you gotta be if you gave one of these figures, you have to look out for sinking, the thing to hold it in, I would say, on these. Because you don't want to be ending with a figure that looks weird as this. Which is why you have them in bags of the season of which ritual cloth figures. Skin tone, yeah, they look weird. And also this. I don't know if you can actually pick this up there, but one time he fell. Surprisingly, now you can actually see it. And the little cuff fell off. Glue that thing on. Surprisingly enough, that hasn't actually broken off, surprisingly enough, though. Very shocked for that to actually happen. And as for those who are wondering if I'm actually going to do the articulation, you can already plainly tell I did on my revisiting one, and I did. So there. For those who don't know, I was thinking head goes up, down, left to right, go on 360. I can't really do that with one arm. Hand could go, okay, let me do it, yeah. Okay, so back here again. There we go. So head could go up, let me just take off the hockey mask. Up, down, left to right, go 360. I think you can actually move the neck just a tiny bit. I don't know if it can actually work like that. So there. Arms could go all the way around like that, but you gotta remember plastic kind of does bend like that. It has right there. Joints could go about there. A little sucks. It's not double jointed, but you know what? It's right there. And that's about it. The arms, they do move up, down, and Dan checks it again. There's abdomen though, so I don't know. We can do about the splits. You can hear on how this plastic really ain't doing really well. Go up, kick back. Joints, it has one. Actually go a little bit around. And the boot. I guess the shield gets go up, down, and about pretty much this. So there's your calculation for a figure. That's pretty simple. Now accessories. Oh, that's different from one of them. Let's go there. Which one should I do first? Machete. Yeah, they're different, other than my bloodstains, which actually looks pretty good though. I was trying to go for more of an original take, and also do, the cover. Looks good. I think they're exactly the same color, however I think this one's a little bit dull in color. You Gotta remember, these things are shiny. They need to have glimmer. These do not have glimmer. So there's that. Axes. Yeah, they changed quite a bit. This one's a thinking head of brown, and this one's more of a red. And there's a tiny bit of blood on here. I'm not too sure. I did add it on here. You can actually see. Handles look exactly the same to my knowledge. Sorta. I think this one doesn't. Well, this side has a lot of wood grains. This one barely has anything. So there's that. I guess what I could call this junk. From between here, the re-release looks better. It actually has thin paint. This one has little sloppy ones, if you can see. I think that's thinking the little, I guess, extension. I don't know. Little pocket knife. Whatever the heck you call this thing. And yes, it is customized to look accurate than how I would interpret it. One thing to know is that the handle in the movie is brown, and in here it's black. Yeah, that's a mistake that they added. So there's that. And this one's really popping out. I don't know how that happens. So there's that. And here comes this part where I was thinking some of the accessories are way too good to even be looking like identical. Guys have wrenches. I kind of do like the weathering on the original right here. But the red looks a little bit bright on here. I'm not too sure. So there. Also, I don't know if, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if the actual red's blood. It looks more as if it was dead, just being dead. Fire poker. Look near identical, I don't know why. Yeah, they're way too good to even be somewhat of actually being the same. And the pitchforks, they look identical. I didn't really add any blood stains on here because, you know, lazy. Now, if I do notice, thinking this one's a little bit lighter in tone. So there's that. And I guess some people do like the whole entire lighter tones and somewhat changes, but you gotta remember, these things are supposed to be thinking old by the time he picks them up. So I don't know how that happens. Okay, sweep. Let's get through some poses. I think, I don't know. Yeah, this is what I mean when actually the paint works better. This is the original head, and here is the re-release body. It actually works, like, very good. I don't know how that happened. So, there's that. And, yeah, kinda it for them. Gotta put them back in the poses I had them originally, and we should be good to go. Sorry, I was supposed to say I did poses, but I really can't really think of anything. Me. Yeah, did some half-camera junk, and this happened. Well, gotta use the original now. That sucks, like, actually. And I don't know why, but this box really does suck. Dispose of it. So, fun times. Throw that thing in the trash. And put back the original. Now, that's literally happened to when I had the re-release 2019 Michael Myers figure. Literally, the 5 poker was good until when it bent a little bit too much, and all of a sudden, it broke. So, exactly what happened here. So, there's that. You also gotta be one. Some of these pokey junks, they look good, but I they could break easily. I really did wish I cut down the camera, because sometimes these things are sinking miracles. That scared me a little bit. So there's that. And that, well, comes to the end of the entire comparison. What do I think of these two in general? Well, I don't know which one it goes with for you two. For either, yeah. If you want to go with thinking some of the stuff I said about the original, then that's good. But you probably gotta look out if the person who's selling is actually the original. If you want to go just what the easy way to find, which is the re-release, which is this right here, then that's all good for you. But you gotta be one. Some of the paints are on here, and some of the paint I added isn't gonna apply on here. You have to do that all by yourself, if I would say. And Christ's sakes. So yeah, that's basically it. And also pointing junks. They actually got paint sometimes. I was literally before even filming, he fell, but it didn't even touch it at once. So that's that. What was even more crazy was that it was a re-release for both of those. Seems weird for them to do. Anyways, my score would actually be a good old, actually 6.5. Like, it's good, but I really did wish that the re-release would have had a lot more. Like, hands. He needed it. And probably a lot more to go by. But, oh well. It's just paint issues, and probably that's about it. And the main thing is, where could you find the guy? Well, I guess the figure. We could have found him at another thing Toys R Us, a few sales on Target, which is how I got my original. And when 2019 rolled around, late 2019 to be exact, NECA released a few of the older figures since they, I guess, were out of stock, like half a dozen times since they were restocked. And now you can plenty find them on some Walmarts, I would say. If you hop on eBay, try to at least get stuff like this, or maybe this, because that's bootlegs of these guys. And if you was thinking the shine on stinking hit on this was bad, the neck is shiny, So that's that story for you. And that's about it. So what do you guys think of the video? Like, share, comment, notifications, and the more part of YouTube going to settings, I guess notifications. Put all the personal. If not, try to fix that. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, the schedule for the month is gonna be pretty packed. A lot of anniversaries, and for Christ's sake, dogs. I don't know if you're good at that. It's gonna be pretty packed. Seems like there's about to be a million anniversary videos there. Like hundreds for me, Angry Birds. What's it gonna be a month? Okay, it's not gonna be legitimate, what people would assume though. Sonic, FNF, Fall Guys, if I even do Walrus Basics. Not really though, it's just the game released in June, but I'm having it as if the school started around then. So that's that. And that's about it.